It was a scene of chaos and disbelief at Toronto Pearson International Airport. On February 17, 2025, Delta Airlines Flight 4819, arriving from Minneapolis, flipped during landing. The plane, operated by Endeavour Air, landed hard. It skidded off the runway. Passengers watched in horror as the aircraft turned upside down. Emergency crews rushed to the scene. They found the plane lying on its roof. The situation was dire, but thankfully there were no fatalities. 80 souls were on board that flight. This included 4 crew members and 76 passengers. 18 people were hospitalized, a testament to the severity of the crash. The weather conditions at the time of the crash were treacherous. Blowing snow reduced visibility to a mere 6 miles. Winds gusted up to 37 miles per hour, adding to the already challenging conditions. The temperature was a frigid 17 degrees Fahrenheit. Passengers described a terrifying ordeal. Many were shaken, nursing minor injuries. They spoke of the chaos and panic inside the cabin as the plane flipped. The crash landing left some with cuts and bruises. Others suffered more severe injuries, including broken bones. 1 child and 2 adults were in critical condition. The critically injured adults, a woman in her 40s and a man in his 60s, were airlifted to a nearby hospital. Their conditions remained uncertain in the hours following the crash. In the aftermath of the crash, officials were quick to respond. Delta Airlines CEO Ed Bastian expressed deep concern for those affected. He pledged the airline's full cooperation with the investigation. As a precautionary measure, Delta canceled all remaining flights in and out of Pearson for the day. Ontario Premier Doug Ford expressed relief that there were no fatalities. He offered the province's full support to the victims and their families. Ford promised a thorough investigation into the incident. He wanted to ensure the safety of all passengers flying in and out of Ontario. The Association of Flight Attendants (CWA), representing the crew on board, urged the public to avoid speculation. They emphasized the professionalism and courage displayed by their members during the emergency. The union promised to support the crew members as they recovered from this traumatic event. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada, or TSB, took the lead in the investigation. They were joined by the National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, and the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, from the United States. The investigation promised to be complex and thorough. They would examine the aircraft's black box, interview the crew and passengers, and analyze weather data. This crash landing in Toronto came at a time of heightened concern over aviation safety. Just weeks earlier, an American Airlines plane collided with an Army Black Hawk helicopter at Reagan National Airport. That incident resulted in fatalities on both aircraft. 2 days after the helicopter collision, a Lear medical jet crashed in Philadelphia. All 6 passengers and 1 person on the ground were killed. These recent incidents raised questions about the state of aviation safety. The TSB investigation held the promise of answers. It aimed to determine the cause of the crash and prevent similar incidents from happening in the future. The world was watching, hoping to learn from this terrifying event.